Good Sunday morning and welcome to WGN TV Political Report. I'm Paul Lisnick. We begin this morning here in Illinois, where new efforts are underway to help police departments stop carjackings and vehicle thefts across the state. Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias is doling out $11 million in new grants to deal with the issue. The funds will help pay for more detectives, license plate readers, helicopters, tracking devices, and GPS software to track down suspects. A review of the 10-year trend in carjacking show that last year the numbers fell from the pandemic highs but are still much higher than they were in 2013. And Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias joins me this morning in our WGN studios. Mr. Secretary, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Paul. Thanks for having me.
So with regard to that and the award of the $11 million statewide, the point is to provide resources to catch the bad folks. Can you kind of be specific? What kind of support do they need that they're not getting through law enforcement?
Yeah, so what we've seen not only in Cook County but throughout the state is carjackings, the fear of being carjacked, motor vehicle theft. The numbers have actually been increasing, and you know, the Secretary of State's responsible for keeping our roads and highways safe, and we're doing everything we can through this office.
You have a personal tie to that issue, don't you?
Yes, I was carjacked when I was in high school. It's an emotional scar that's lasted for 30 years. I'm very proud of the work that our task force is doing. It's technology, it's manpower, it's making sure that they have the resources they need. And since the task force is put together, we've been able to recover about $112 million worth of vehicles. So we're proud of the work that we're doing, and more broadly, it shows what can happen when Chicago Police Department, Illinois State Police, the Secretary of State Police, and our sheriffs all work together on a common goal. So I'm thrilled the work we're doing, but it's still not enough.
It's a critical fear people have. Before we talk about certain specific initiatives that your office is doing, and you, in April, you released a modernization and efficiencies report. And in there, you detailed progress towards your goal regarding the DMV. You know, people think of your office as just about the DMV and it's, you know, notarizing thing. It's so much more than that. We see that in your report.
It's so much more, and we've really focused, you know, it's the largest Secretary of State's office in the United States of America. So being the state librarian, we fought back on these dangerous and undemocratic book bans.
Well, you testified on that.
Yes, in front of the United States Senate. I'm proud that we're the first state in the country to pass a right to read legislation. We're also in charge of business services, so anyone that wants to start a business in Illinois, expand a business, comes through our office. We have an index department, archives, one of the largest organ tissue donor programs in the country. So we have worked extraordinarily hard to modernize the entire office and to create more efficiencies into what we view and what we know is a customer service and a customer-facing office.
When you testified before the U.S. Senate about book banning, were there anybody make an argument that gave you pause?
No. No, as a matter of fact, the opposite. I felt even stronger in our convictions that, you know, education means allowing kids to learn for themselves. And we should not be telling librarians or experts, library boards, what books kids should and should not be reading.
And you've got kids.
I've got 4 little girls, and obviously there are some books that are not appropriate for my daughters, but I could never in a million years fathom another family or another individual telling my wife and I what books our kids should and should not be reading.
One day your kids will be teenagers, and one of the things you've got going is don't get scared about that, a Teen Summer DMV initiative, 12 additional DMVs opening. Are there that many young people out there that need this assistance and the opportunity?
The answer is yes. So all the decisions we make in the Secretary of State's office are data driven. And what we've seen is over the summertime, when kids are back from school, when teenagers are home, they tend to use the summer as a time to get their permit, their license. So we said, how can we help parents and families that are taking time away from work to take their kids to a DMV during the week? We open up these teen driving facilities on Saturday for the first time ever, and they have been enormously successful. I'm proud of that. You know, the response has been tremendous, and it's all about helping these young men and women, but also helping the family members by giving them an extra day during the weekend to help their kids out.
And let me go to the other end of the spectrum, seniors, because on that end you've got a new senior center in Bridgeview. You were doing these pop-ups and then decided that that was a location that needed something more permanent.
Yeah, so we care deeply about our seniors. We love our seniors. They're our biggest demographic, and for the first time ever, we opened 4 senior centers Over 60,000 seniors have gone to a senior center. We're only for seniors. They don't have to make an appointment. They can walk in. We'll do whatever they need. I'm very proud. We have one in Calumet Park, Evanston, Bridgeview, and Westchester, Illinois. So they've been very successful. We're getting more and more requests to open more. But I'm proud of our senior centers.
I was down in Daly Center, Daly Plaza, and I thought it was a food truck. I was going to get a hot dog. It wasn't. It was it was your office's truck.
Yes, we are working very hard to reinvent the entire office and to be more innovative. And when I ran for this office, I promised to, number one, modernize the office, and number two, make it more accessible for everyone. Our food truck DMVs, as I call them, have been really fun and cool, but more importantly, it allows us to get to certain communities and to bring drivers and vehicle services directly to the people, directly to the community. So the response has been great. It's the right thing to do, and it will help our employees and these communities very much by bringing DMV services directly to the communities.
So there's this category where you are coming to the communities, giving them other things, but I have not taken advantage of that. But I'll tell you what I did take advantage of. I was stunned when it was time for my license renewal. I could do it online. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, so we are trying to take traffic away, again, based on our data, away from our actual facilities. And what we found is the more services we can put on our website online through a QR code, it's more efficient for people. It reduces the time tax that people pay to access simple government services, and it helps our employees, our facilities, focus on those who need a vision test, who need a driving test. So
that was a question, right? If I needed a vision test, I wasn't going to do it online.
Yes, although I will tell you, sneak peek, we are also looking at the technology ultimately to potentially do eye exams online as well. So we're really trying to move the needle. We're trying to be the most innovative Secretary of State's office in the country. The other thing that we found is just under 50% of all our visitors at our facilities, 50% never even had to come to our facility in the first place. So we're really encouraging and imploring people to conduct their business online.
Wow. You know, something I found interesting, not just from your initiatives report, but also just other things you've been involved with. I mean, you can't make the legislature do things, but you've been involved in ethics legislation, wanting, in terms of lobbyists and people who hire them, to disclose what they're spending. You've even been involved in food additives that are dangerous. So people who think of the Secretary of State as the guy who's handling the driver's licenses, and you are, but you are reaching all these other arenas. Is that, I'll be honest, is that a personal interest of yours? Some would say maybe he's got some ambitions.
Well, you know, when you're in office, you need to do everything you can to be as innovative as possible. And I view the task at hand with a relentless vision for making sure we have the most modern DMV services in the country, but also having a robust legislative agenda. So we've worked very hard on things like our book banning bill. We are trying to get dangerous food additives out of kids' foods. There's a number of things that we're looking at: automatic license plate readers, data protection, that I'm very excited about. And I do think you can walk and chew gum. And I have to tell you, we have a great team, and every single day we're trying to think outside the box.
We're just about out of time, but that second last ambition part.
I love being Secretary of State. I have fun. I love my job. And I think in this day and age when politics has so much negativity and anger and unhappiness, I'm having fun. I'm having a ball. I love what I do. I like to think the people that I work with love what they do. And it's an exciting, fun job. And it's a tremendous honor to be the Secretary of State.
All right, Mr. Secretary, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
You.
If you can hang on afterwards, I need a car sticker for my things.
I got you, Paul.
I appreciate
I got you.
All right, Alexis Julius, thank you. We're going to take our first break. Up next on WGN-TV Political Report.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Joe Biden and Donald Trump face off for the first time this cycle, but will the debate have an impact on the race for president? And later, still waiting on the Supreme Court inside the big decision about former President Trump's possible immunity. We're watching it this weekend.